I was hopeful the way he was eating, she, as long as they're eating, they'll be all right. Once they stop eating, whatever sickness or injury they got is going to quickly get worse. I don't know if maybe he's got an infection or something, but I also have a fantail, injured fantail, whose appetite is not changed at all. He's eating like crazy, thank goodness. His fins have started to grow back pretty good. Everything but his tail. It doesn't look like his tail's going to grow back, but all the other ones did. What else? The ranchu's not doing good. He's not swimming around. He just kind of sits there. Even when he swims, he doesn't move. Just kind of sits there vibrating. Oh, he's got to eat. If he doesn't eat, it's going to be game over. I got bloodworms. They've never had them. It's the first time for bloodworms. He's been refusing the brine shrimp. The peas have been the savior. Actually, they stopped eating for a day or two, and I threw in some crushed up sweet peas, and that got them eating again. They like those. They do like those. They trashed the tank though. Oh my god, the mess. I squeeze them out just like a zit because they don't eat the shells. Grab it. Take it. Where's my glasses? So he's been, every now and then he'll suck some in, but then he spits it out. Gets my hopes up, and then out it comes. I take my glasses off. Got those. I guess you can see it that bad. I don't think he's really eating. Although, I did notice a pretty good sized stringer of poop coming out of him, so he had to eat it. He had to have eaten something. They're terrified. They're both like get panic struck really easy. Even just turning the light on, they will like go full speed, head butting everything, face butting everything in there. Just by flipping the light on, so I kind of do everything kind of gradual. I got a outside light a little further away that I warm them up with so they know I'm coming. And, you know, the last time I didn't think he was eating either. And when I came back, there was about this much crap on the floor, and it looked like they ate almost all of it, so that's good. Say hello, world. I'm sick. Oh, real good. I know, buddy. I know. You're doing good, though. Hanging in there. Oh, you just spazzed and I missed it. I love this guy. I hope he makes it. I'll be fucking so mad if he don't make it. I lost 2 Arandas in 2 days that were pretty healthy and then just instantly tanked. But I think I may have parasites courtesy of Petco. The one Aranda, there's a whole story behind it. I put a couple videos up, but even on the ride home, looking at him at a red light, his scales were just literally dropping right off him. So he just sucked in a whole bunch and then spit it out. I mean, he doesn't probably like me that close, but yeah, obviously like sucks it in and spits it out. He's trying to hide. He has a lot of stuff in there, but I took it out because he's not swimming hardly at all. Not very good at all. So just left enough to give him some cover. A couple hiding spots anyway. They don't even really go in there. Do you, dickhead? God, his tail's jacked. I don't think that's gonna grow back. Oh, he's got a little bit of poop coming out of him. It's a nice color. It's not a white stringer. He's got a little Hitler mustache. Crazy. It's not really Hitler. It's more Chinese looking, I guess. More Chiang Kai-shek. I bet it hurts. I bet his tail's hurting, and that's why he's not really moving around much. He's got those big derpy eyes, man. Just feel him looking right at you. Comes to spaz out. I'll turn the light off and give it about a half hour, 45 minutes. Come back and then clean the tank out with whatever they didn't eat. But they'll eat most of it, I hope. Or none of it. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows, right, Bubs? Panic struck. Straight up terrified. Nugget. I named him Nugget because he had no fins at all. None. Not a single fin on his entire being. And he would just lay there and kind of vibrate. So I started feeding him with the eyedropper. Now he's at least able to swim around again. But he did get used to eating out of the eyedropper. He just does it really like begrudgingly. It's kind of funny. He does it like angrily. Like, God damn it. It's kind of funny. See if I can get him to do it. Then he'll come right up to the eyedropper, but I think because he just probably ate a whole bunch. I'd like to grab him, show you the wound, but all it does is stress him out super, super bad, so I'm not gonna even grab him at all. Completely leave him be. I thought I was going to lose him if he doesn't start eating. I'll be in the backyard with the orandas. You don't want that, do you? You don't want to be fertilizer for my fucking plants. Good. That must mean he ate something. She? Actually, it's a she, I'm pretty sure. Not having it. Nope. Screw you and your bloodworms. Girl's spazzing out. The old vibrator. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Bloodworms. Not really worms. Fly larva. In case you're wondering. I'm gonna take off my butt.
But before I get started,
IRS e-file is now open. Snap your W-2 and file your taxes 100% free. Plus, get your taxes free.
What a great day to be in the Army! My girl second sense is tingling, but that can only mean one thing. Some brand new boot active duty soldier is advising troops on how to get kicked out of the Army? Yeah! I don't think so. We ain't gonna say girl summer until we make a little bit of that money. Because today's feature sponsor is World of Tanks. World of Tanks is a free-to-play warfare-themed, massive multiplayer online game where you are the tank commander. Be sure to demolish surrounding areas to capture targets, but don't be caught out in the open. Leading the way with its interactive gameplay, get up close and personal, fire from a distance. Heck, you can drop from the sky and crash on your enemies. With multiple maps and endless variations to tanks, the game never gets stale. You don't have to worry about saving up a whole bunch of coin in order to play this game, because World of Tanks is free to play. Sign up and install World of Tanks by clicking the link down below. And don't forget to use the code TANKMANIA when signing up for these sweet prizes. An Excelsior tank, 250,000 credits, 7 days premium access, and 3 rental tanks for 10 battles each. They include the Tiger 131, the Cromwell B, and the T-34-85. Join the battle, master the art of combat, and bring your team to victory with World of Tanks. And now for your regularly scheduled girl song. Yeah! He's adapting. One of the proudest moments in any military member's career is the day that they graduate basic training. Oh, the day you become a soldier, airman, marine, seaman, etc. Space Force potato. But this female soldier, who is still currently in, made a video telling soldiers how to get out of the military without completing their contract. And I know you're thinking, oh, she couldn't possibly talk about dishonorable discharges as an option to leave the military. You would be incorrect.
I have to make this video on how to get out of the military because they try to make it seem like there's no way out but to finish your contract. But there's people like me who's going to tell you that that is a complete lie. And there's so many ways to get out.
Why? What is your purpose for making this video? Why do you feel it necessary to teach people who are about to be in how to quit?
Like I said, it is very normal and common for soldiers, especially new soldiers in the military, to have depression, anxiety, stress out, and you can use that as a way of getting out if you really don't want to be in.
I know when you can quit. I know when you should quit, and I know how far I can push you. You want to know how many pilots have come up to me and said, "Drill sergeant, oh, I can't make it. The tiny height syndrome. I want to quit. I want to quit, drill sergeant. I want to talk to you, Chancellor." And I've said, "Shut up, Brian. I'll fucking get to that later. All right, you're gonna finish his high school course. So you're gonna finish his high school course, and then I'll talk to you about quitting." Got it? Yeah, okay. And then almost as if I planned it that way, they forget to fucking quit because I knew that they had it in them. But here you are. Instead of supporting our troops, they may have a little bit of a breakdown. Oh, I just need somebody to say, "Shut the fuck up and do it." Here you are to say, "Allow me to help you fuck yourself."
So the first thing and probably the most effective way that you can get out of the Army is by using the mental health route. So let's say, for an example, I'm an Army soldier and I'm wanting to get out of the military by using mental health. I'm going to go to behavioral health almost every other day, if not every day, or as often as I can, and I'm going to show out.
Your number one answer for getting out of the military is to feign a mental health illness? You disgusting turd. I got another idea. How about you just make a fucking video about how to fucking abuse the mental health services in the military to get yourself kicked out of the military? I think that video posting would probably be a great way to get the fuck out of the Army.
I'm going to give them every reason to believe that I am unfit to be in the military.
For you to actually suggest this route as a viable option to get yourself out of the military shows the lack of military bearing and zero Army values you had instilled in you from the beginning.
Saying things like, "Hey, I got voices in my head," or "Hey, I can talk to aliens. Here's an alien right here."
Protect your hearing voices? This is how stupid this huge sack of shit is. You know how difficult it is to fake schizophrenia? There's a 24-hour, 7 days a week mental illness that people gotta deal with. You can't just turn it off. It's like watching a private say, I'm having a seizure, drill sergeant. Private, just because you're intentionally shaking your fucking hands doesn't fool me into thinking that you're having a seizure. Oh, you see this? You see me doing this? This is every fucking private pretending to have a seizure that's nowhere close to real. If you've ever seen a real seizure, it looks nothing like you trying to roll your eyes in the back of your head and shit. Much just like a psych fucking doctor would know that you saying, I hear voices telling me to eat spinach and shove a can of broccoli in my ass. Isn't probably your brain freaking the fuck out. Funny side note, I did have a friend of mine after a tour go to a mental health specialist and tell them he thought he was the king of Spain. This ain't Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You can't just take a thermometer, shove it up against the fucking light, warm it up and stick it in your mouth and go, I'm sick, I got a mental illness. I guess I gotta go. Can't go to army work. Fake mental illness. You better Daniel Defoe that shit and get into character long term if you're gonna fake it.
So I've actually seen this method work for a lot of people in the military. I've actually had a couple battle buddies who've used the mental health route and they got out.
That's an ongoing topic that she loves to bring up throughout her very educational video. That she just loves hanging around malingerers and fakers and pieces of shit that want to quit and get out. Huh. I wonder if there's a correlation between the two.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers get 2.9% APR for 72 months on this Silverado. Chevrolet.
So another way that you can get out of the military is actually by refusing to train. This is probably one of the most effective and quickest ways to get out. But I do want to say that refusing to train probably works best for people who have not got to the duty station. So people who've been basic training or their job training, AIT, that's going to be your best friend. It's saying, hey, I'm not training. I refuse to train.
Refusal to train gets you out of basic training fast? You idiot.
So I actually had a battle buddy in basic training who used this as a way of being out.
Oh, and I'm surprised you were friends with them. Shitbirds of a feather flock together.
Within our second week of basic training, she went to the commander and said, hey, like, I don't want to do this. I'm not doing it. It's not for me. I want to go home. And you know what they did? They sent her home within 2 weeks.
Just because you never saw him again doesn't mean he went fucking home. No. If you are a refusal to train, we will send you back to a new iteration of basic training so that you can get the chance to learn it all over again. Because we won't give up on you in the Army. Not even after your second, third, or fourth iteration of basic training. We'll make your quitting attitude quit before we do. I guarantee you that fucking quitter watched all of you, including you, dirtbag, graduate and walk across the graduation ceremonial field as he sat there.
They sent her home within 2 weeks. I was like, I should have did that. I don't know. What's wrong with me? That's what I should have did.
God, I wish you had. Why did you stay? Why the fuck did you stay? You're literally the epitome of one of those children that has their ice cream knocked over, then wags and cries to mommy, and has all the other kids' ice creams taken away because you couldn't have any. I'm having a bad time in the Army, so I gotta make sure everybody else pays for my fuck up.
So another way that you can get out of the military is by being really bad in PT.
Oh wow, the soldier that said he's fake mental illness said don't try it PT. Wrong.
So if you can fail your PT test a couple times, and you're probably headed out the door, like you ain't here this week, you just, you know, trying your least and you're not performing well in PT, you're done.
Oh, you can pass basic training without passing PT, but here's the rub. You'll get sent to a fucking fat camp where all the fatties and ones that didn't pass PT but passed everything else get to live out their lives for the next 60 to 90 days doing PT 3 to 4 times a day until they can send you to AIT. Oh, so you're just gonna be stuck in basic training longer.
So another way that you can get out of the military for enlisted women only is to get pregnant. Of course, if you're still in your training stage and you haven't been in longer than 180 days or 6 months, you're done.
So you're gonna tell me that instead of just finishing out a year or two of a career in the military, You're gonna get pregnant instead and have a lifelong commitment to a child? I feel like one of these is the lesser of two evils when it comes to commitment. Well, what a hard choice. Maybe I could just finish basic training, my job training in a 6-month period, and then complete my military career. Maybe even switch over to the Guard or Reserve if I don't want to be active anymore. Or I could have a child. Only 18 years minimum of commitment. By the way, if you're bumping one of your battle buddies in basic training, you are not getting an honorable discharge because as trainees, you cannot fornicate. In the Army, we call that fraternization. So now you're going to have a baby, no job, and a baby daddy that got no job. Wow, really setting these soldiers up for success.
So another way that you can get out of the military is by using your religious beliefs.
Oh, Jesus, Mohammed, Buddha, and Tom Cruise can't help you now.
So if you go to your commander and you say, hey, this is against my religion, I shall not kill, I will not kill, steal nothing, you're done. They are getting you out the door. I've actually seen this personally. I know someone at the AIT, he went to the commander and he said, hey, I forget my religion, I cannot kill, I will not do it.
Take off my butt.
Okay, I just know after 2 weeks, I never saw him anymore. He was definitely, they were done with him.
Good luck. All of a sudden, you remember that you can't kill anybody. Oh, no. Even the chaplain's going to tell you to suck it up because he believes in God and he's still in the military. And you ain't getting out just because you just found God in basic training. Oh, no. They'll change your career. Or you want to be a shooter or whatever. It's fine. Be a killer chaplain's assistant. I mean, you just found God. Why not continue that career? Drill captain, I will. I can't kill anybody. It's against my religion. You're so hard. You're gonna kill everybody. Get back to the fuck formation. And you couldn't use it because you're a little less medical. 68 Sierra. Wow. Preventative medicine specialist. No wonder you want to get out. Maybe instead of making a shitty YouTube video telling soldiers how to get this out of a discharge, you're spending trying to fucking dig that fresh for a roll. I think there's a kid swing in the button that's a little bit loose.
So I wanted to save this last one and getting out the military for the last one, mainly because it's probably the longest process. However, it may be the best road.
It's like having all those and the entire world of YouTube uninterrupted. Your wallet the bank. This wallet's good talk. YouTube Premium. Try 1 month free.
Bye!
What's your name? Alexis? Like the con? It reminds me of the Kanye song. Yeah, since Mercedes, Lexus, whatever, skipped over these important parts of her diatribe of diarrhea, let me inform you, feigning a medical or mental health issue is cause belligerent, and you will get a dishonorable discharge for that, along with fraternization, aka fucking and basic training getting pregnant, and failing to train or failure to adapt. All other than honorable or dishonorable. But what does it mean to get a dishonorable or other than honorable discharge? Aren't there consequences? Oh, there sure are. You will pay back every cent of a bonus that you got when you signed up. Oh, was that 20 grand that I get for being a medic? Oh, I want to quit. Wait a second. I gotta pay that 20 grand that I already spent on a Camaro back to the Army? Oh, no! You can bet the government's gonna get that money. And you can kiss getting any other government job or security clearance, fucking gone, baby. Federal, state, city, if they ever ask you, why did you get a dishonorable discharge? You're gonna have to explain why you kept shitting your pants at the mental health clinic just so you could try to fake to get out. I'd second thought, I'd love for you to fake a mental illness, cause watching you eat shit would make my fucking day. If you have to watch a video of how to quit the military before you even sign up, it ain't for you. Turn off the video. Walk away from the computer and get some fucking fresh air. And two, this 20-year-old piece of shit doesn't know her ass from a hole in the ground trying to explain away why people in her basic training class magically disappear. I pray to God that your command sees the video that you put out telling soldiers to feign mental and medical illnesses just to get out. Shit, why don't you just tell them to smoke a bunch of crack and piss high on a bed step? There's no negative repercussions there, except the same as fighting a drill sergeant, or feigning medical illness, or refusing to train. Why didn't I think of this? Because it's gonna fuck up your life. I don't know where she went to basic training, but her fucking drill sergeant did. What's that? She made a video about basic training? Demonic.
So I was in Army basic training, and I left in February. I graduated sometime in May, and now I'm in ARC. So another thing that you need to know before going to basic training is when you get to reception, you're gonna have to get shots. But I'm gonna put you up on that. So I got a shot in my group called the peanut butter shot. You know, that was no point shots I had to get because I told them that it was against my religion to get shots. Is it? Maybe. But I know I just have to get those shots. So I ended up having to get about 10 to 14 shots. And for me, like I said, it was the case because I told them, look, this is not what I do. I'm about beliefs. I don't believe in this. I can't do it. And it worked.
Did you just admit to using a legitimate religious excuse to not complete medical readiness? Oh yeah, command. Oh yeah, I'm throwing you under the bus. The blue fucking falcon swooping in on you.
So besides reception, when you actually get some basic training, there's going to be something called a shark attack. Now, shark attack is supposed to be your drill sergeant yelling at you, cussing at you, down your throat, and all this good stuff that's supposed to scare you, get the civilian life out of you. Shark attack was me. And another thing too, I couldn't take my drill sergeant serious because I'm taller than most of them. Like, you're sitting there looking up at me like that, and I'm like, at this point, you're a joke. You're a joke.
Oh, you hear that, girl, sir? You're a joke because she's taller than you. I bet she might be the person to talk about how easy basic training was and how she won't afraid no drill sergeant because she can fucking fight him and she's so big and bad. And then in the next 5 minutes, might try to talk about how basic training was the hardest thing ever for her.
When I went to basic training, I gained weight. I gained 10 pounds. Now, it is. I didn't try my hardest in PT, and I was also in the contraband goddess.
Are you kidding me? You didn't try PT. You stuck in contraband all the fucking time, and you gained weight in basic training? You are the epitome of the shittiest soldier I have ever heard of. Every fucking stereotype of trash is leveled up in an even more disgusting volatile pile the more I look at her videos.
I gained weight. That's all I did was muscle weight. I gained fat weight. I looked overall fatter. I didn't lose my absolute best PT, mainly because like I have to be motivated to do PT. After a while, it gets extremely annoying.
Who gives a fuck if you were entertained with PT? Maybe if you would have done the workouts instead of trying to sneak more snacks in your fucking face, you would have gained 10 pounds.
I don't think the exercise that the Army makes me does help me with. Like, what the hell is the bending, reaching? Look that. Go to YouTube and look up that exercise. It's stupid. It's not going to do anything for me but mess my back up even more.
How would you know the bending reaches useless? It's a fucking warm-up drill. It's not supposed to get you jacked, you fucking dunce. Oh, but here you are giving everybody your fucking beautiful thoughts from your beautiful tiny pea brain, and then in the same fucking video stating you never tried a PT.
I wasn't one of those soldiers who was scared to the very honestly, try not to be one of those people who's scared to win games, scared to get your hands dirty, whatever. Just don't be like that. Because I was definitely me. I wasn't one of those soldiers who was scared to get dirty. Because I was definitely me.
Oh, don't be scared. Don't be scared like you were afraid of the bend and reach. Everybody take advice from the fat malingerer in the corner. Yeah, okay.
So whatever your opinions are about something, right? So sleeping outside, digging on whatever it is, don't let it be known because they're going to be on you. You're going to make your life a living hell. Like money.
Called it. I thought that basic training wasn't hard at all for you, tough girl, huh? I thought that the BT was so stupid that you didn't have to do any of it because you're smart. Oh, you're so big brain and smart, you said. And the drill sergeants were short and you didn't fear them at all. But you just said,
You're going to make your life a living hell. Like money.
listen up, you fucking scrub. You can either get clout because you were too badass for basic training, or get clout because basic training was hard as shit. You don't get both. I can't wait to see the fallout from this. Did you think there wouldn't be repercussions? Well, you'd be out of the army. No money now, fucking idiot. Oh, if they let us do our job, we wouldn't have turns like this in the fucking army. Just bring down the shades in the bay for 3 or 4 days. The first 3 days. And let me do whatever I want with them. And the quitters will leave. I will separate the wheat from the chaff. And the army shall be glorious again.
I went overall dragon.
Feel like it's time for something new? With Blue Apron, you'll get wholesome, easy-to-follow recipes delivered to your door. So you can stress less about eating well and enjoy more time well spent. For quality ingredients and quality time, skip the takeout and try Blue Apron today. Blue Apron. Eat well, live well, easily.
People mess up, soldiers mess up, but sometimes those mess ups can result in someone getting kicked out of the army. What's up, my friends? U.S. Army veteran Christopher Chaos, and we're here to talk about the 3 most common things that if a soldier does get kicked out of the army, it may be one of these 3. These are usually the most common kinds of things that soldiers do get kicked out of the army for, but also talk about some other things that you know definitely what not to do if you really need that kind of knowledge. Because I feel like you shouldn't be told don't do dumb stuff because it should be self-explanatory, but sometimes people need that stuff, or you're probably just curious, right? You're probably curious as to what are some things that people sometimes get kicked out of the army for. That's the type of thing I like to do here on this channel, the Christopher Chaos channel. I like to educate you about the U.S. Army. I got a whole bunch of other videos to educate you about the Army, from basic training all the way to while you're in the Army, and a bunch of other stuff. So if that's the type of content you're interested in, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Also click on that bell with all notifications so you get alerts as soon as we videos go live, to include the live streams, that we can join in on all the fun action and be a part of that notification platoon. So let's talk about some of these 3 most common things. Now, I say 3 most common things, not that getting kicked out of the army is a common thing, but usually when it does happen, these are usually some of the factors or the reasons that I often see that soldiers got kicked out of the army for. First one, which is actually probably the most common of people that usually get kicked out of the army, that's for failing drug tests. Soldiers have to drug test often, actually, very, very often sometimes. Sometimes you might do one every other week or every week or whatever the case is. Sometimes you might want to do one every couple of months or whatever the case is. Sometimes it definitely varies. This is also mainly talking about active duty, right? Reserves, National Guard, that's definitely a whole different ballpark. But for your active duty soldiers, right, you are already doing your analysis, you are doing the drug test often as hell. Typically, this comes from the company commander or whoever hired wanting to do like a 10% or 100% or whatever the case is for the company. Now, if a leadership individual, suspects that a soldier is, constantly using then they can request that one individual to do a drug test, but sometimes that might be a little difficult as they need some kind of evidence, kind of probable cause to have that soldier tested. But you don't need probable cause or any kind of special evidence to say that, hey, we're going to do 100% for the company to make sure nobody in the company is doing drugs, and then potentially from that, catch that one person that you're suspicious of. So sometimes that can happen. If they have some kind of information there from soldiers where they're thinking that these soldiers are maybe on drugs or whatever the case is, then sure, they might do a whole company-wide urinalysis. Now, this isn't always a situation where you get kicked out of the report. This is more common since 2015, where it is pretty common that soldiers, if they fail a drug test, could have a much higher chance of getting kicked out of the Army, but still not 100% guaranteed chance that they would get kicked out of the Army. Earlier in the early 2000s, right, of like 2005, whatever, 2010, then it might have been more along the lines of an Article 15, right? You're going to reduce your rank, maybe all the way back to E1, especially like your E4, come up hot on a drug test, you're going all the way down to E1, reduce the pay, extra duty, all the 9 yards. 2015, they really started cracking down on some of this stuff like that. So it became a lot more common that if you failed a drug test, they were having zero tolerance for that stuff anymore. And they were just chaptering that soldier out of the Army, getting kicked out. So no, it's not 100% guaranteed that if someone comes up hot for a drug test, that they are going to be kicked out of the Army, but the chances are much higher, especially since 2015. A soldier now, if it was something that, was of no wrongdoing, it was a false report, false test, whatever the case was, then they can appeal it, right? But if they, lose the appeal, they have no way of proving that, the test was wrong, or they take another test and it failed that one too, then there's nothing you can do, and you're getting probably either kicked out of the Army, or maybe you're lucky and you only just get reduced your rank. The second most common situation that you might see of why a soldier maybe got kicked out of the Army is a DUI. The soldier goes out, goes partying, maybe they get pulled over off post, they get a DUI. Sometimes the local authorities will turn that over to the military authorities, and sometimes that still results in some kind of things, some kind of punishment where they're going to probably lose their license or whatever the case would be, and potentially this one can result in getting kicked out of the Army. Same kind of lines like I was talking about with the drug test, right? I remember back in the 2005, 2010 era type of thing. If a soldier got a DUI, they're probably losing all their rank, right? They're probably going to be sucking in life because now they're going back down to a private, or if they're an NCO, they can drop down one rank, as you can take an NCO from like E6 all the way down to E1, but you take from E6 down to E5, and they can do extra duty and reduce their pay. But this one, kind of like I talked about with the drug one, has gotten a lot stricter since 2015, where they are cracking down, and sometimes this can result in soldiers getting kicked out of the Army for this kind of a thing. So just like with the drug one, not 100% guaranteed, but nowadays Army kind of a thing, there's a much higher chance than it used to be back in the 90s, the early 2000s, that kind of time period, as far as whether you're going to get kicked out or just get Article 15. Chances now are a lot higher that you probably possibly could potentially get kicked out of the Army for getting a DUI. Now, the third most common thing that I have seen of soldiers getting kicked out of the Army and why they got kicked out of the Army, this one being a much more serious one, and that is domestic violence. This one is 99.9, if not 100% chance that if you commit domestic violence, you are getting kicked out of the Army because of the Lautenberg Amendment. The Lautenberg Amendment makes it to where anybody who is convicted of this type of thing, of domestic violence, is not allowed to own or operate a firearm. That makes you useless in the Army. I've heard of some people saying, well, they just put you in M1 where you don't use a weapon. They're not going to do that. They're not going to want to tolerate that. You kind of mess with that. I think there's only one M1 you can do that with, and that's a chaplain probably. So they're not going to go and make you a chaplain because that's an officer also as well. So no, they are going to kick you out of the Army if you are convicted. If you are just accused of it, right, then that's not necessarily, going to result in being kicked out until you are convicted. So if they have proven, and it is proven that you did commit domestic violence, then because of that Lautenberg Amendment, you're getting kicked out. In my time in the Army, I think I've heard of maybe like one or two soldiers ever, getting kicked out, at least just in my first-hand kind of experience type of thing. There's obviously maybe a larger number, I don't know what kind of number of percentage or how many soldiers were kicked out of the Army because of this one, but, it's definitely not something like, oh, left and right, there's people, beating their spouses and getting kicked out of the Army. No, like my 10 years of being in the Army, I think I didn't actually know anybody, but heard, oh, so-and-so from this company or this troop or whatever got kicked out of the Army because he got charged with domestic violence. So that one is, not a common one I saw all the time. The ones that were the more common ones that I would see of people that I knew or, heard about a lot were because of, failing drug tests. Obviously, those are not the only things that can result in you getting kicked out of the Army. There is a ton of different things that can result in a soldier getting kicked out of the Army. Some examples of that is obviously like felonies, right? If you committed a murder, of course, you're going to jail and then you're getting kicked out of the Army as well. If you stole a car, you robbed someone, anything you can think of as a felony, rape, whatever, right? You are going to be kicked out of the Army if you are convicted of that crime. A couple of other things that some people may not think of that could result in someone getting kicked out of the Army, but also could just simply result in Article 15, but one of them being adultery. In the civilian world, right, that may be something to, file for divorce for, maybe, win, a bunch of money from your spouse because they committed adultery from you, but it's not against the law. It basically is against the law in the Army or in the military. So if you are found to be guilty of adultery, they can either choose to just give you Article 15, reduce you in rank, all that kind of punishment, or if they want to, they can pursue it to the highest level and kick a soldier out of the military for committing adultery. That can come from that soldier being married and, cheating on their spouse, or even just, they could be a single soldier that has some kind of sexual relations with a married individual. And especially like if that ends up being a case where that soldier had sexual relations with a married individual that maybe their spouse was in the military or they're in the military, whatever the case was, and that, evidence got out, that, information got out, then they can still get in trouble too, even though that soldier is single, because they had sexual relations with someone who is married. So don't think you're safe just because you're single. It's not the kind of thing. So make sure that if you're going to have any kind of relations with someone, make sure both of you are single. I've seen a couple of soldiers in this situation. Now, this was back in like around 2007, 2009-ish, somewhere around there, and those individuals got busted down rank. They lost rank, they got Article 15s, all that kind of fun stuff, but if leadership wanted to push this to a higher level and kick a soldier out, they potentially could. I don't know how common that is for adultery, but that is an option that leadership can pursue. Another one, which is actually less common, but you can get kicked out of the Army for it, that is being overweight, failing to meet the weight standards for the United States Army. This one doesn't happen quite as often, right? You may have seen, like in videos, photos, whatever the case was, of soldiers look like they're overweight, and that may be the case, right? But I feel like all the experience I've ever seen, leadership gives those individuals.
Snap your W-2 and file your taxes 100% free. Plus, get your biggest refund. File free now. Roughly 37%.
My drill sergeant senses tingling, but that can only mean one thing. A private who failed on a basic training is making YouTube videos about how bad his drill sergeant's treated him. This is a job for him. Ooh, high definition. Looks like Daniel Greenwell just wanted to let some things off his chest and let everybody know that he's a little upset with how he was treated in basic training. But some people are a little mean to you, huh? Oh, it's heartbreaking, isn't it? Let's go through your video. Check out some of these things you've taken issue with, huh? Sexual harassment, sexual discrimination, harassment. Oh my! The only thing wrong with this photo so far is you got the one drill sergeant on the end standing in parade west while everybody else has their hands in front of them. Come on, Bill. You're standing out. You're being an individual. Attention to detail, man. You have to be the one guy standing out there being different. Knock that shit off. I didn't go to a trial. Listen, you couldn't afford the upgrade. You don't got an iPhone. You couldn't make this on iMovie. All right, whatever. I'll pass by you. You're not in the military anymore, so I'm just going to assume you're a homeless vet now, right? Probably claiming homeless vet status and PTSD, like Ferguson, whatever that shit that is. Sexual harassment. Drill Sergeant Guzman Stewart ordered the entire company to run 170 male and female privates to touch themselves. God damn it, drills. This is why we have sexual harassment and rape prevention training. Every goddamn month they're gonna get trained on how not to touch somebody. What happened? They told you to grab your junk because you weren't sounding off like you had a pair? Well, let's find out more about this, shall we? I didn't know what this means. There's so little information. I'm going, but you know, all right, let's continue on. This could be legitimate. Some non-trainers are going home 7 weeks or longer as punishment for quitting. No, guy, no. How is it because you're not a priority anymore? Oh, look, somebody's not the center of the universe. Now they feel as though they're not being treated properly. Yeah, it's going to take you a minute, quitter, because you're not a priority anymore. The guys training are. That's right. The 210 people in the company that are actually continuing on the mission and getting trained, they're up here. They're up here, all right? You're down here. You're the guy that gave up, that nobody wants to talk to right now, so you're dead to a To get basic training done and over with is to graduate. It's only 10 weeks. We don't stretch it out any longer. All the training is pre-scheduled ahead of time. But if you want to stay longer, feign an injury. Just malinger around a little bit. Be a turd and say you want to quit, because you're not just going to get one chance. Oh, no. We'll recycle you to the next class. So you can try number 2. And then even if you fail there, we're not going to give up on you, because the Army doesn't give up. So we're going to send you cacao to your 3rd iteration of basic training. And then if you fail, well, then you can't say we didn't try. Can't say we didn't try. So unless you want an extended stay in the devil's anus, I suggest you just put your head down and continue your freaking mission of getting trained and graduate. You get all the streamers and hand jobs you want from your high school sweetheart when she sees you with your national defense ribbon marching along the graduation trail. Oh, this looks good. Drill sergeants have told non-trainers to turn around while a company was in formation. Drill Sergeant Miller said he didn't want to look at their faces. Yeah, I don't want to look at your faces either. Nobody wants to look at your faces because you're a quitter. You are a cancer to the rest of the company. All you quitters get there and you don't have to train anymore and you don't want to do push-ups. So you whine to the chaplain, oh, chaplain, they're singling me up because I gave up on myself. Then the chaplain comes over to me and says, hey, Drill, how about you be nice to the little chitlins, huh? They're retarded, but they're strong in soul, and I gotta eat that garbage up. So no, I don't want to look at you. I want you over there, away from the hardcores that are gonna actually go through training, and I want you gone. Oh, let me guess. Your doctor's appointment for your sprained knee is happening, huh? You were walking around just fine, sprinting up and down the stairs when you wanted to get chow this morning. Oh, but you're too hurt, and you don't want to strain yourself. And the drill sergeant is yelling at me. Get out of my formation. Get out of my face. I don't even want to see you being stupid. I follow the example of the drill sergeants, creating a more aggressive, disrespectful environment between trainees and non-trainees. No, dude, you just suck, and everybody around you that's going through training knows that you suck. So guess what? You get treated like a loser who quit and sucks at life. It's not my fault that everybody around me, including the kids who haven't even graduated yet, can smell your weakness and decide to say, F that guy. He's just a turd bacon in the sun. I'm gonna stay away from him because I don't want to catch the quit on me, but gosh dang herpes. Hashtag don't catch the quit. Drill sergeants have told non-trainees that they were going to kill them. You ready for some normal dialogue going between a drill sergeant and a private? Hey, private, if you get the fuck over that obstacle, I'm going to kill you. I will drag you through the dirt until you're nothing left but a pile of skin and ragged bones, who the dogs will then gargle up and shit out, and I will then bury. That is how dead you will be, private. You will be shredded dog shit when I bury you if you don't get over that obstacle. Or how about this? Hey, private, if you don't keep your thumbs alongside that first knuckle of your fingers in position of attention and press against your seat, I'm gonna rip them off, and I'm gonna feed them with the fucking seagulls flying overhead. Hey, private, you don't get away from me. I'm gonna kill you. I'll straight up kill you, private. I will murder you in and in front of everybody that you love. Get away from me. Sounds like a normal day of get away from drill sergeant. Idiot, kill me. Yeah, I'm gonna kill you. And the figure of speech, you idiot. Just like me saying I'm gonna PT you until your eyes bleed. You're not really gonna have your eyes bleed. It's hyperbole. But you wouldn't know that yet, because I haven't educated you on hyperbole yet. Private, trainees would be told not to talk to the quitters / non-trainers. That's because you're a cancer. Because you are a living, breathing form of cancer. Spreading to all the other ones who want to get the job done. Here's you, not wanting to get the job done. Here's a whole bunch of people that are doing great. Here's you, fucking the joy out of their life while you're quitting F. Sits on the sideline and pisses and moans about how you're not getting home yet. Because, I gotta go see the dentist for the 3rd time this week because my impacted molar is preventing me from training. It's my molar that stops me from training. It's a legitimate medical reason, guys. Non-trainees would be degraded and embarrassed in front of the entire company. Oh, like everybody else, you turd. Every single person that's gone to basic training has a oh shit moment where they stood in front of God and everybody, and the drill sergeant leaned into them about doing something stupid. You ever drink a glass of Coca-Cola in basic training? No, because you're smart. You're not an idiot. I did, and I got destroyed for an hour and a half doing over 300 ass kickers in pants until I fucking started hitting the ground, the hard concrete on my knees, and I'm bent for it. A female private was not required to recycle due to a negligent discharge that her and a man had done on the same day. However, the man was required to recycle. It happened in whiteface. Yeah, no shit, it happened in whiteface. That's when you get your freaking right to training. A man did a negligent discharge, but a woman did the same thing. And maybe there's two different reasons. Maybe the dude is a complete turd, like yourself. And the female is a squared away soldier except for a negligent discharge. I'm not downplaying the negligent discharge. I am not downplaying that shit at all. You pop around off near me when you're not supposed to. You're getting a kick to the chest. I'm not gonna get lit up by some dumb private. Fuck it, I actually tried to do that for 2.5 years and I made it through. Not so that I could get shot by a 17-year-old dummy in his first 3 weeks of basic training. You're gonna be one hell of a blue falcon. Oh, the guy got me started, but she didn't. She didn't. She made me started, you fucking blue falcon. Here come the excuses. Just because a trainee quits in basic training does not mean they are dishonorable. The Army lifestyle is not for everyone. Some people choose to at least try the Army out, and this is honorable in itself. Yeah, you're right. But those people probably aren't bitching about it on YouTube, are they? Danny, it continues. Those who do quit should not be shamed, put down, or degraded. When this happens, this is only bringing shame upon the Army for being unprofessional and inconsiderate to other circumstances. What were your circumstances, Danny? Was it tiny heart syndrome? Was your heart a little too small to keep up with all the other females and male privates trying to do their little ruck marches with a 45-pound ruck? Was that it? Was it because you couldn't shoot the bang bang pow pow and it scared you? Was that it? Is that what your circumstances were? Because it seems like you just quit. And guess what? No, quitting should not be celebrated. Like I said before, quitting is a cancer. And I'm not going to shake hands with you and make you seem like the golden child while everybody else is busting their ass doing the right thing. So forgive me if I don't want to look at your face in formation. He goes on to say a number of things that happened to him. Intimidation. A lieutenant told me that I was going to jail for a long time for lying about sexual harassment complaint I made. He did this despite knowing I was telling the truth. What? How do you know he knows you were telling the truth? Right? And two, guess what? It's not intimidation to tell a fact. Hey guy, just so you know, if you're lying about this, you're gonna get in a lot of trouble. So, him saying this leads me to believe you are a little bit of a liar there. We haven't even discussed how or why all these privates were grabbing themselves like the drill sergeant told you to do in the beginning of this video. Where's that at? Where you made a general statement there and then you backed it up with fucking nothing. Negligence. The company often went without soap or hand sanitizer during chow time while I was training, and was never provided any soap or hand sanitizer when porter potties were being used. This led to many getting sick and pink eye. Oh no! Was your hands a little dirty when you ate your meal, the MOE meal, with a spoon and a fucking fork so your hands shouldn't even fucking touch it? So maybe you should have watched a little bit of YouTube videos on what the military's like, and then joined whatever branch you felt appropriate. Perhaps the Air Force, since you don't want to get your hands dirty. And I'll tell you why you're getting sick and why you're getting pink eye. It's because you and your battle buddies are all disgusting little pieces of crap. None of you shower. Some of you never used deodorant before. Your barracks reek, even though we make you clean them every fucking night and day. Because some of you are just disgusting slobs that need me to tell you when to shit, shower, and shave every morning. Because otherwise you just wouldn't. You know how many times I've gone into a barracks and seen bloated laundry bags filled with dirty clothes because you didn't wash your clothes for the past 4 days? When you sweat in 110-degree weather in Missouri? Too many to count, Danny boy. Maybe instead of itching your asshole and rubbing your fucking face with your dirty hands, you should probably just stay away from the area downstairs and then shower, all right? Maybe that seems appropriate. Maybe you should take your fist from outside of your taint. This is where the video ends. But Daniel goes on for a couple paragraphs in the comments about some of the other things that went wrong. Let's go touch on some of these subjects, shall we? Non-trainees were not permitted to go to the concert or have family day. You know what family day is? It's the day before graduation, where soldiers who graduate get to meet their family. Did you graduate? Did you make it all the way through basic training so that you could get rewarded? You didn't? Maybe. You should should have just graduated basic training. Did I not say earlier that the fastest way to get out of basic training is to graduate? So they're at a family day, they're graduating, and you're still there. You're still there. Oh, I'm heartbroken for you. Non-trainers had to walk in the back of lines. Yes, you go to the end of the line. You are not a priority. You are a burden. You quit, and now we have to babysit you along top of trying to train 210 other privates in the company. So yes, you eat last. You get everything last because you are no longer a priority. Non-trainees are not allowed to call their families while the trainees are. Oh, I'm glad you said something. This is a very important topic that a lot of people ask me questions about. You are not required to get phone calls home when you're in basic training. Oh, sure, if you pass everything and do a good job, you can get a phone call at red phase. You can get a phone call at white phase. You can get a phone call at blue phase. Each phase, you can get one phone call home. But guess what? I don't have to give you a phone call. I am not mandated to give you a certain amount of phone calls home. You got snail mail. Write something out. Send it on its way. Enjoy your dental appointment, holdover. Some non-trainees cannot have a protein bar at last formation as punishment for being a non-trainee. Another topic people will ask me about. Yes, privates get protein bars at the end of the day now, which irritates me. I get it. We have to make them eat the protein bar. But you got rid of the hydration formation. They need to drink water. Why can't I have a hydration formation at the end of the night and make them chug the canteen? Make them eat them. Make them eat the protein bar. Make them eat the protein bar, Drill. But don't make them drink water. Don't make them drink water, Drill. Water bad. Protein good. Once again, Private, you are not a priority. You're a non-trainer. Trainers need to have protein bars so their bones can grow strong because they're using them. You're not. So you don't get a protein bar. Are you sad you didn't get a late night snack? Does that make you sad that you don't get a late night snack? Huh? Go get a little cheese it, you know, chocolate juice, don't you want? Just shut up and go to fucking bed. Non-trainers are forced at times to do 2 fire guard shifts in one night, while the trainees would just do 1 shift. Yeah, you had to do 2 shifts of fire guard one night. That happens sometimes. Guess what? You got plenty of time to sleep and jerk off and do whatever you want to do while they're out training. So yeah, you might get 2 shifts of fire guard in one night, occasionally. Here we go. Finally, we get to talk about the sexual harassment that went down at the very beginning of this video. The investigation of sexual harassment is over. So there was no sexual harassment. However, there seemed to be very little consequence to their behavior. They're still drill sergeants, despite what they did to the entire company of around 180 privates. This sounds like somebody got a little butthurt and saw his moment to shine and get some super shitbaggery points. Got me so pissed off, swiped through my brown round. To all you soldiers who might have graduated with Daniel and Alpha 119, I hope you comment down below. I can't wait for you to tell me how great and outstanding and wonderful he was as a soldier. I wait with bated breath.
Darlings, do you have dark spots from the sun, under-eye dark circles from late nights, redness, hormonal pigmentation, skin that looks dull and tired? My new dark spot correcting radiance recovery serum is the secret to radiant, even-looking glass-like skin. It's clinically proven to reduce the appearance of age spots, hyperpigmentation, sunspots.
I gotta go out and do some shopping. My drill sergeant says it's tingling, but that can only mean one thing. Some pervy lieutenant colonel put a hidden camera in a girl's changing room. No, let the beer. How about you sit down right there? Won't you have a seat? Take a seat. Have a seat right there. Sit down.
Have a seat right now, Chairman.
Welcome to the internet, Lieutenant Colonel Jacob Swetley. Well, I would hold my applause because this Lieutenant Colonel's name printed down here, verbatim. verbatim, as I got from the news. Just in case you needed help identifying this man, the colonel here got in a little bit of a bind when a teenager found his hidden camera in a girl's changing room. Russ, nobody likes from that young, you fucking sicko. But our story doesn't. And then, no, it gets so much gooder and then worse. Once the female teenager found that hidden camera, she called up the police. And the po-po turned that peep show into a sting operation. And 2 days later, what you know who's walking by but Lieutenant Colonel Strickland, going to get his hidden camera in a little girl's changing room. And the police jump out like the jump out boys they are. Now, you're having a ranger tab, of course he is physically fit, and he ran. Oh, he ran from the police as he tried to get his peep show camera from a little girl's changing room. But he got caught. Good job, police. So for 2 days, that camera was recording from when the teenager saw it and reported police to the state. But we don't know how many days before it was recording. Oh, my God. A week's worth of nudies for a dude that should be getting brand new concrete booties.
He sleeps with the fishes.
I'm not sure how long the foot chase lasted, but I'm sure the police potted this predator as he stopped and stared into a baby gap. Shy-rating, hair humming like a dog in heat. Pervert. Now with handcuffs, a new question arises. How long has he been doing this for? Is this his first time? I highly doubt it. Or does this guy have a blockbuster video inventory in his basement? How many unsuspecting women were recorded? Were they notified? Oh, the other thing that stands out to me is that a teenager found this video recording device in a changing room. Teenager, only 18 and 19 are adults, so that means there's a good chance that the kid that found it is a juvenile. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. For those of you who have a hard time counting with numbers. Well, which store was it? Maybe that could tell us what kind of clientele would shop there. Oh, PacSun. It was a PacSun female changing room that he put his hidden camera. Hey, Siri, what's the age demographic of the people that shop at PacSun? 12 to 24. Targeted customers, boy, that's not the appropriate word for this pervert, but the company's targeted consumers are between 12 and 24 years old. 18 is right in the middle. You got 6 before and 6 after. So your odds of getting a juvenile in one of those video recordings that this guy recorded secretly in a changing room is 50%. 50% of the time it's gotta be a kid. No one else has numbers with an adult-to-child ratio like that other than a Chuck E. Cheese and a daycare. So you did that on purpose, didn't you? You wanted children, didn't you? Now I'm sure this snake would say, oh, I didn't intend. I just wanted people over 18 to illegally record while they were changing in the privacy of a changing room. I wanted only the ones that were 18 and older. I'm not a total perv. If that's his defense, then how are you going to ferret out all the kids? Huh? How are you going to judge whether or not they're 18 or not? You've got to watch the video. You would then have to watch a juvenile child change to then say, oh, not my cup of tea or not. You're still fucking watching it. And fuck watching it, you just created it. You created it. How is he not getting charged for the creation, child? What was his intent in order to get a leg up on this upcoming summer's new fashion trends? People don't just record strangers getting naked in a changing room for future possible investments or further little arbitrary secret. Oh, and let me guess, he wasn't going to share with anyone either. It was just for him, right? He wasn't going to totally disseminate that shit to the internet. Whoa. But he's caught now. But he's caught. Ooh, bravo. Ooh, he's caught, so everything's okay, right? Right. Now, at first, the local district attorney's office had the case. I mean, the cops were there. They're doing all this sting operation and setting them up and snatching and grabbing them. But the DA said, hey, you know what? Let's give this softball of a conviction to the Army. Oh, yeah, baby. A possible sex offense as serious as this? In the hot little hands of the Army? Oh, yeah, all those sharp classes. All those negative stereotypes about the military not caring about those affected from sexual assault or abuse. Oh, it's about to get blown up now. Now's your chance. Here it is on a silver platter. Your chance to show how much you care. All of those sharp classes, hours, days, finally coming to fruition on a disgusting little turd that you could put away and demote forever. Oh, I can't wait to see how long they gave him in prison, what rank they reducing him down to dishonorable discharge. Oh, dishonorable discharge. He was removed from the U.S. Army Cadet Command at Cal Polytech as a professor of military science, where he trained future officers for the Army. He is now assigned to the 8th Brigade of the U.S. Army Cadet Command in an administrative role, away from cadets, and received a reprimand.
Wherever the road takes you, Chevy is ready to drive you forward with pure power unleashed.
What? Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? What was the reprimand? Moving him from one place to another? Not letting him teach anymore? How can you be away from the thing when the thing is in the name of the place that you're at? 8th Brigade Cadet Command. It's got cadet in it. How is he still in command of troops? How can he still be in a field officer rank? You're telling me on the next unit, mandatory fun family day, you're gonna bring your kids around this guy? You want this D-Gen? Hanging outside around at a pool party with your 14-year-old daughter walking around in a swimsuit? Who's gonna check the bathrooms at these events? Who's gonna check the bathrooms at the place that he's working now? Come on, Bill Sergeant. You don't need to check the bathrooms. This guy, he already got, reprimanded. He did it once before. It's not like he didn't know that's a bad thing to do. He fucking ran from the police when they got him. How is this guy able to walk out of the headquarters every day? Don't send him to my unit. Oh, don't you send that shit to my unit. Cadet, come in. Around college students? This dirty pedo's like a kid in a candy store. Who's to blame for this miscarriage of justice? The defense and the prosecution and the judge had to agree on this pre-trial sentencing in order for it to go through. Yes, he took a plea. He took a plea. Recording children in a changing room in their skivvies, and God knows what else. They gave him a plea, and the plea was a reprimand. Everybody said, yes, if he pleads guilty to doing this sick, disgusting act, we should give him a reprimand. What say you, prosecution? Yeah, yes, I agree, yes, absolutely. Normally I would charge somebody and fight for them in a court of justice in order to be charged with these heinous acts that they have committed. But today I think a letter of reprimand and moving would be sufficient. Yes. Fantastic. And you, Judge, what do you say, Judge? I am the judge. I obviously know that a man who is as sick in the mind as a poor young girl definitely. You, Judge, what do you say, Judge? I am the judge. I obviously know that a man who is as sick in the mind as a poor young girl definitely receive only a reprimand and a possible dismissal. This is absolutely permissible. Yes, agreed, fantastic. All right, next on the docket, a DWI for E4. Dishonorable discharge, that little freak. Of course, a slimy, disgusting defense attorney who has no idea what justice is would absolutely fight for such a light charge on such a heinous case. Justice may be blind, but she smells shit when she sniffs in it. How could the prosecution just throw away a case like this? The DA's office and the local police department or sheriff did all the legwork. They did all the freaking legwork 10 times better than any military investigation could have been done by the MPs. They sat there, they stalked him, they got him, they downloaded the footage, they handed it to you, Army prosecutor, to get justice on behalf of the victims. And you threw it all away. You threw it all. This could have been the cherry on top of your career. Finally, somebody, some pervert, gets held to the accountable level that they should be in regards to our sharp. It's anti-sexual harassment and bullshit fucking propaganda that you're feeding us, but you won't come through on. Now, hypothetically, let's just say that this got taken to trial. And all of the evidence that they had, well, there was a bunch of inaccuracies. Things were wrong. This poor guy was mistakenly arrested. He had nothing to do with it. He accidentally dropped his phone. He went back a day or two later after realizing what it was. It was his daughter's phone. It was dismissed entirely. No charge, no bill, completely innocent. That would be one thing. But that didn't happen. He pled guilty to recording children and women, young adult women, without their knowledge, in a changing room. So he's guilty of that. He said, yes, I am guilty of that. He is guilty of that. And it doesn't matter how many times he says he's sorry or he feels bad or it was a mistake. There are victims who have to live with that the rest of their life. How do you think those poor women or children feel? Every time they go into a changing room now, they gotta look for cameras. Their heart flutters because they're like, oh shit, what if there's another pervert trying to get at me? Good job, prosecution. Good job, prosecution. You fucking suck. I'd like to let you know that you personally disgust me. Oh, you're not out of it yet, Judge. Oh, no, Your Honor. Your Honor, I use that term loosely because the judge can look at a pretrial agreement between the defense and the prosecution. And if the defense says, I want to get away with nothing, and the prosecution says, yeah, that's fine, you can get away with it, the judge has the power and ability to say, whoa, 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 you two. This is not justice. This is too light of a sentence. There is nothing here that is agreeable. It is outrageous that he would get nothing more than a slap on the wrist. Come back with something that shows he is being punished and held accountable for his actions. But the judge didn't do that. The judge says, oh, sorry, Your Honor. I couldn't quite hear what you were saying with the defendant's cock down your throat. I hope you remember to play with the balls. Now, I'm not sure as to why the district attorney's office didn't just proceed with the charges, have him arrested, get him all those fantastic charges, and put him on a registry. Because guess what? He's not on one now. He's not on a registry. This guy that records children changing, he doesn't register for anything because his punishment is a reprimand and to move a little bit and not teach kids no more. Oh, no. But the DA didn't charge. They decided they were going to dismiss the charges and hand them right over to the Army. Probably hoping that the Army would do a good bang-up job. Well, they banged something up. It was justice. They bent her over a bucket bar and reeled her out against her permission, just like those poor children were recorded without theirs. A good question would be, well, why doesn't the DA pick it up now? Because the DA already made their decision, and you can't Bill Cosby something. Right. If you choose not to charge, you don't have enough, or you want to give it to a different unit, department, investigative service, or whatever, then that's your choice. You made your decision. Boom! All options off the table now. Once he gets a little smack on the wrist here, it's not enough. You can't decide to, oh, we changed our mind. No, it's one and done. So this guy who records kids changing and changing doesn't have to register, gets 0 charges, still gets to keep his rank, still gets to complete his military service, still gets his retirement. Way to keep a predator in the ranks, a predator of kids. Well, geez, but it's almost like they got a term for that. Way to go, Army. The DA's office gave you an easy layup, and you threw it in the stands. Oh! Where's Samuel? Let me make some noise for him. Let's cheer him on. Here's a line directly from the DA's office. While we are not aware of what mitigating information may have been provided by Lieutenant Colonel Swetland at this court-martial, the outrageous and indefensible invasion of privacy of placing a video recording device in the changing room of a retail store certainly calls for a stern response. Without knowing the true in-life impact of his reprimand, we cannot sufficiently comment. Suffice to say, Lieutenant Colonel Swetland's guilty plea and admission highlights his personal acceptance of accountability. Impact!
What happens when real patients move curing hepatitis C from their to-do list to their to-day list?
I was able to move forward without Hep C doing more damage to my body.
Understanding side effects was important to me. I talked to my doctor about Epclusa.
Epclusa treats all types of chronic hepatitis C. I thought treat...
What impact? No more teaching? This entire investigation wasn't about his academics. He secretly recorded women changing in a private changing room. Now if your boyfriend, oh, hey, bro, why are you so upset with defense attorneys? They're necessary to make sure that innocent people don't go to jail. And they involve the authorities at the proper level of accountability to make sure they're doing their job and making sure that our justice system doesn't deteriorate and maintains a high level of integrity and flow. And to you, I would respond with Swetland's defense attorney's statement regarding this investigation. And Funk Bailu, who represented Swetland in civilian court, funk you too, Bailu, stated that last year, Swetland was suffering from mental illness that was directly linked to his deployment. PTSD doesn't make someone put a hidden camera in a little girl's changing room to spy on them while they get dressed for days at a time. It might make you magged up into your patrol car after hearing an acorn hit your hood and confusing it for a gunshot. P for post-traumatic, not P for predator stress disorder. Oh no, now I have to fight the ears of diddling children. That's not how it works, you disgusting little defense attorney. You amoeba of shit. And that's the end of this fairy tale. No happy ending, no good stories. This guy gets to walk away free. But I'm hoping that the feds pick him up. Oh God, Homeland Security, HSI, FBI, some three-letter fucking person. Pick up this case. I know it's heinous, but if you put that thing on an internet server somewhere in the middle of the world, WW whatever the fucks, only FBI's gonna eat him apart. Oh, please, God, please go through his computer one more time. Cause Jag failed. It's probably why they call him Jag Laws. I'm really hoping to get the names of his defense, prosecution, and the judge that ruled on this case, just, for my personal education. And I'll put them up on a blank screen here with maybe their office numbers, so you can ask them directly, what the fuck? I hope you got a lot of people manning the phones and the mail / 8th Brigade of U.S. Army Cadet Command. That's it. Get back here. Yeah! Worth it. Well, the best way to support the channel is to pick yourself a t-shirt. I got 2 new Marine ones up, but they're only here for a limited time. So get them before they're gone. And also, yeah, a cop shot at his car because an acorn fell on it. So I made that shirt. That's only going to be available for like 2 weeks. And that's it. The cheapest way to support the channel is to leave a comment on how stupid this entire thing is, or to share this with every Cadet Command email that you can think of. I'm sure they have a Facebook or an Instagram account. Maybe they need to see it. Okay. See you next time, weirdos. Hey guys, we're having a real time recruiting people into the military branches right now. I wonder fucking why. Let's let the bad guy go. Anybody who's got a DWI in the United States military knows that there's no such thing as double jeopardy. You get pulled over by the local sheriffs and fucked over and he can't drive, and then your unit demotes you and all that other shit. Why wouldn't that happen now? How is this case so different? Oh, I know, because he's a colonel.
One of these things that we're doing now that will really stop taking like some people have gone an entire 12 hours, their whole life not eating. Allow your body to go into recycle mode. When you go a day 2, research shows on UCLA, day 3, you activate the body's natural recycling system. It's called autophagy, and it's incredible. It puts you into recycling. So very good for fighting aging, fighting cancer, fighting disease. The real reason why fasting makes a massive impact on your immunity is autophagy. It's one of the most incredible processes that our body does for cleaning up viruses, microbes, and things that are harming our immune system. I did a full video on it. I think it's a perfect next step for you. I think you're going to love the topic as much as me. Check this video out.
Well, they live a long but healthy life. Well, what are you eating? Our guest is the author of Make Food Simple, Dr. Living Good.
I think if we started taking a few more conversations from the doctor's office to the doctor's kitchen, we can get some perfect.
Food is medicine, isn't it?
It is, and so that's what makes you the solution. I believe instead of a lot of the doctors, a lot of the drugs, a lot of the things a lot of us are doing, that we can be our own solution, and that was what I'm
What you have for breakfast has a huge impact on the number of calories that you burn. True or false? Massively true. So many Americans are putting themselves into sugar-burning, fat-storing mode first thing in the morning. Do you know the simple way to activate fat-burning mode from the get-go? To start the day by kick-starting the fat-burning system and optimizing health building and healing in the body with a simple choice for breakfast. Hey, I'm Dr. Living Good, and look, if you have spent any time reading about nutrition on the internet, it can feel like everybody has a different opinion on the best way to eat. One person claims that meat is the best protein source. Another says a plant-based diet is all you need. Some say carbs are good, others say they're the devil. You should eat a low-fat diet? No, a high-fat diet is the way to go. I mean, it all got very confusing for me too. I thought I was doing good because I was eating gluten-free and buying organic food. But here's the thing, food is actually so much more simple than we make it out to be. Because when you spot the deceptive marketing, And when you can spot the toxins hitting in so many types of foods, it takes all the guesswork and confusion out of it. And it just makes everything simple. And you can just enjoy your food again and get healthy without doing a diet ever again. And you can start right now. It's easy. All you have to do is follow the 5 simple steps in this book and understand how to spot the 10 main toxins hidden on ingredient labels so you can know exactly what's in your food. That's all I did. And I lost 30 pounds and I'm in the best shape of my life. You see, when I had this success with simplifying my foods and my choices, I began to share this make food simple method with my patients. People who are suffering high blood pressure, cholesterol issues, erratic blood sugar, liver enzyme issues, fatigue, and lack of sex drives. And guess what? They've all experienced amazing transformations faster than anything they'd ever tried before. And hey, don't take it.
If you have to wipe yourself raw just to get clean, do this. Stuff food with a pain in the butt. Literally. First, you have to strain with force.
Well, I can't wait to show everybody the 1 million subscriber shirt! My drill sergeant sense is tingling, but that can only mean one thing. I've hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and now Angry Drill Sergeant has to break down his basic training video. Well, you've done it, and a bet's a bet. Let's go break down this bad boy. All right.
Running out of a dumpster behind an abortion clinic?
Get on now.
Let the ship first go. Take the head. All of a sudden, look how motivated everybody is. Let's start the time. Motivated.
Basic training. One of the most, if not the most, iconic moment in a young military member's life. I mean, not even young. From ages 17 when he first joined, all the way to 80-something years old. Some World War II veterans telling stories around the campfire that their drill sergeants used to beat the living crap out of them. And some of the hysterical things that they used to say. Now, Hollywood seems to have an issue with trying to portray basic training land in the way that it actually is. A forbidden hellscape with tomfoolery and shenanigans that make you sweat and cry and want to give up, but also build you up stronger, all at the same time sometimes. The better ones obviously being Full Metal Jacket. I would say Starship Troopers too.
The enemy cannot push you, but you disable his hand.
Honestly, I connect a lot with that drill sergeant in that scene. But let's forget about Hollywood for 1 second, and let's talk about veterans that actually lived that life, trying to portray their experiences on the big screen. My friends at TV have a new series out that focuses on the drill sergeants and drill instructors. Drill! The funniest place you can't laugh. And the shared experiences that we all seem to have from basic training land. Now, I figure if somebody's going to let you know whether or not a basic training video, series, movie, etc. is any good and touches on the real thing, it would be yours. But enough flip-flapping. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Running out of a dumpster behind an abortion clinic? I'm getting tired of looking for calls to do. Let the ship first go. Take the head.
The first thing that caught my attention in the show is how to use the drill sergeant's ability to berate people. Once again, I know everybody's very familiar with Arlie Ermey's depiction of a drill instructor in Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, yeah, it looks to me like the best part you ran down to crack your mama's ass, standing up at the ground, staying on the monster. I think you meant cheated.
And why that scene in Full Metal Jacket is so iconic is because of Arlie Ermey's ability to just quickly rattle off insults faster than you can think. Now, drill sergeants may not be sitting here with a sketch pad trying to think of interesting and funny things to say and writing them down for later so that they can go up and down the line berating each and every individual. No, we don't have that amount of time. And honestly, I don't give about giving each and every one of you your own special individual nickname for something that you fucked up. You'll do something stupid later on, and then I'll call you whatever name that is. I'll call you Landmine if you dropped on a landmine. Or call you Rambo if you put on your face camouflage all jacked up and you look like some sort of weird thing that came from the Black Lagoon.
I didn't know what chicken does before the problem until I saw this. Chicken and rice is the best meal to help you lose weight, calm down, blood sugar, stable, right? Wrong. Cortisol, stress, and the truth is, higher cortisol level calorie hoarding, because as cortisol levels go up, metabolism goes down. And so trying to slow down with higher cortisol, it's going to feel like you are trying to sprint. So an easy way to burn fat and build muscle is to optimize food. And an easy way to do that is to avoid foods that raise your cortisol. Because There are foods that are literally raising your cortisol and therefore lowering the effect of the shock from how of your body is temperature. So I made a free quiz to show you which foods you need to avoid and also which foods you should start eating instead. If no meals are required or anything like that, check it out. Please click the link below.
But quickly and randomly coming up with colorful language to talk to your trainees is definitely something that I have been a part of. Even just as recently as this past summer, I had a troop whose last name is Quintard. And yes, Quintard, you've left a mark in my life forever. Just as in the same way that I used to make your name ring throughout the barracks. You know, here, Quintard, I think my favorite line from the show is the birthstone being crystal meth. What the f*** is your birthstone? Crystal meth? This could possibly be my most favorite episode of this longer series, because in the same episode, drill sergeants get a little sneaky, don't they? Oh, they think of a way to sneak inside and infiltrate the privates, which is something I have absolutely done. Now, I've never seen anybody go quite as far as the drill sergeants in this sketch to shave one of their battle buddies' heads so that they can fall in and disguise themselves and live amongst the privates. But for those of us who are violently challenged as drill sergeants, it's a little bit easier. And you don't need much to do it. In PT uniforms, the only thing that makes a bald drill sergeant look different than a private is the fact that, one, we're usually a little bit older and more developed as a band. And two, we've got a large reflective vest on that says, drill sergeant, do not touch. Danger. Stay arm's distance away at all times. Let me tell you about one time when I blended in with the privates. Because it's real, if we do this. Now, I've hidden in wall lockers and in latrines and under beds, trying to, like, scare them. But then as a drill sergeant, like, I got the hat, I'm in uniform, they know who I am. One day during PT, we're all done with it. We're about ready to go upstairs, quickly shower, and get ready to chow. I don't know if they actually showered in the morning, but they're getting ready to change so we can go get some chow. And before they get released from the PT pit area, I take off my vest and I hold it in front of my chest so that from behind, you can see a bald dude in a PT top and shorts, just walking around with the rest of them. Now, if they were intelligent pilots, they would look at my shoes and said, those aren't the basic training issued shoes that I've been given before. That's probably a drill sergeant, but they're dumb and stupid. And so, yes, falling in with a group of privates just randomly is something that's extremely believable. But I digress. I'm walking in the PT area, outside the PT area, about to go into the barracks, and I'm fake jogging, and they all start running around me. And then, of course, once they all start running around me, one of them touches me. I don't like to be touched. And because they're not paying attention that I am a drill sergeant, I freak out, and I give them the proper warning of privates do not touch me, and I flail around like this because they're supposed to keep one arm's length distance away from me because it is for their safety that they stay that far away from me. One arm's distance, that's for your safety. Come on. I have PTSD. Don't sneak up behind me, Private. Sounds like a U-pop. Check it out. Come on. I have one arm's length distance away from me because it is for their safety that they stay that far away from me. What I'm missing, that's for your safety. Come on. I have PTSD. Don't sneak up behind me, Private. Sounds like a U-pop. Check it out. I'm going to go over the end of the bay. If you're looking at the wall, you're not going to crack. Yes, no, maybe. Sorry. No, thank you. Sorry, I'm not fixing that.
We have to pay for it.
Yes, for sorry. In a later episode, well, some shenanigans and hijinks go down in the barracks. After hours, a little late night rendezvous with the lady of the night. And I can't say that I've seen drill sergeants bring in ladies or gentlemen for their pleasure, but I've heard a story or two. But that's not what I want to talk about. There's a small moment in this sketch of the debauchery going down in the barracks that is such a perfect representation of the small moments in basic training. And that's just how we tell people to shut up. There are many times where drill sergeants on the trail just don't want to deal with your training, okay? But honestly, my favorite word is weirdo. Shut up, weirdo. Don't talk to me, weirdo. Don't Look at me here now. I made privates run back and forth or do push-ups every time that they come up to talk to me because I'm just too tired of dealing with their shit. And even them screaming, hey, it's the top of their lungs. They'll be like, no, now's not the time. I need to put out information. Shut up. Everybody shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
And what really made me happy is the end scene where the privates are doing exactly what Drill Sergeant told them. Hours later, just face up against the wall. I have definitely forgotten about privates, intentionally and unintentionally. I'll give you a quick story. Down on the trail, it was my last day. I was going back home, so I had all the troops, the trainees, and the barracks, and I'm lining up. I gave a little speech. Listen, don't move, don't lie. Everybody stay on line. I'll be back in a little bit. None of you move. I'm going to put out something later on. Stay right here. So they're there, at parade rest, in the barracks, just waiting for me to give them the final instruction. It's like, I don't know, 1800, 6 p.m., and I leave and never came back. So what ended up happening is, and I didn't find this out until later on, like literally years later, met up with one of the other drill sergeants again, our paths crossed. They go, hey, you remember that one time when you left us? And you left the private standing at parade rest, like in the day? I was like, yeah, I always wondered, like, when they got done with that. And the drill sergeant was like, hours later, hours later, they were still standing there like, where's Drill Sergeant Hine? Why isn't he telling us to do anything? And this drill sergeant came up from CQ duty to check on all the barracks, on all the bays, and when they got to my bay, she sees everybody standing there at parade rest, towing the line, by their bunks, just waiting, pops their head in and goes, what are you privates doing in here? They're like, waiting for Drill Sergeant Hine to give us the next block of instructions. Drill Sergeant told us to wait here for him. And, of course, the drill sergeant responded with, trainees, he's gone. He left. He's not coming back. How long have you been standing here? It was for a while. For a good time. Discipline. That's what I taught you. Discipline. On to the next one. I can't tell you a lot of strange things privates have done. I can't tell you the strange things privates have done to injure themselves. Because they're just so freaking spastic.
Why did you two come in here to bother me? What's so doggone important? You run out of toilet paper again? There's no washes on your pump. I already checked. What is so important?
Drill Sergeant. Private Howard. Great move for that. Private Howard. Following the big past 10 minutes.
Oh, and yes, every once in a while, you start yelling at somebody, you're like, I'm tired of you, what's wrong with you? And then when they get a second to talk, what is the private, what is what? Drill Sergeant, private stumpy fell off the top bunk, cracked his head open, he bleed all over the place, and we don't have any aid to give him. Oh, private, right? Say that. And then you gotta go fix private Joe Stumpy's head. Now, I can't remember an injury, but I can remember a strange thing that a private did. So in the base, I'll break it down with you, right? There's the first floor area where you have formations. The second floor is actually an enclosed space. That's one of the barracks. And then the third floor is another barracks, right? So you got 4 barracks rooms. There you go. A long empty rectangle with beds in it. At either end of it are the latrines, the bathrooms, and the laundry stations. And there was one private in a previous class before I got there who had found out that if you go on the third story, the barracks on the third floor, which above that is just the roof, and you go into the laundry room and you climb up the wall, there's the attic space, which is just, the roof. There's not really a lot of space, but that connects the entire one barracks to over the drill sergeant offices, big bravo, and over the next bay. And what this private would do is he would put on his freaking face paint, his space camo, climb up the wall, get into the roof, go to the other bay on the other side of the building, and start with privates, and making them think that ghosts were there, and taking their moving it around, and make them fight one another, and nobody knew. We had a ninja private. I'm not even mad. I'm kind of impressed.
It is 7 minutes a day until May 1st. We start on Monday, March 31st. In a week, you'll feel better. In 2 weeks, you'll look better. In a month, your wife won't believe your results. Here's a personalized plan of short chair workouts tailored for beginners over 50. It's just 7 minutes a day, beginner-friendly, and requires no equipment. You can work out anytime, anywhere. Just open the app and follow along.
Chevy makes affordable vehicles that help you enjoy life. Enjoy endless possibilities and your new Chevy. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
$20.
Definitely. You know damn well these recruiters are always saying this goddamn window lifters trying to make the goddamn nation.
There's one thing that drill sergeants hate women trainees. Well, it's on the same level, but sometimes it's more peaks and valleys. They constantly fight one another in the ebb and flow. What we hate more, trainees or the recruiters that brought those trainees there. Now, we get it. We understand that recruiters have a job to do. They've got to pick, sometimes not the cream of the crop, to come in. And hey, you've got minimum standards because sometimes people just barely meet the minimum. But let me tell you, a bad recruiter is the bane of a drill sergeant's life. What's the point of getting the fat kid in and lying on his tape if he's going to have a heart attack and nearly kill himself in basic training because all the kid's done is mainline Funyuns and sit down and play Call of Duty every single day, never ever moving the joints in his body. Or, true story, has some crazy kid that emigrated from another country who hates women, disrespects them, and in order to get out of basic training, decides that he's just going to walk around naked and flash his dong to female drill sergeants. Oh my God.
The baby's really sorry.
Until he's wrestled to the ground, nude by the MPs. If I'm lying, I'm dying. So yes, there are moments where I look and say, if I can find the recruiter of this unique turd that is making my life more difficult, I would gladly nut punch them.
Are you starting first class swimming?
Yes. Oh. And my favorite part, because it's just so true, out of this entire series, which by the way, in case you haven't figured it out yet, I really enjoy. You should check it out. I'm going to link below for the VetTV app and their videos. They've got a whole catalog of content for you weird veterans you need to check out.
It's tradition.
Regardless, cancel culture is real and dicks are out.
Pussy not. Company's chicken potato.
But my favorite part is the no-no words. Can't call him a dick bag.
Dicks are out.
Can't call him a pussy. You can't swear at him. Well, you can't intentionally swear at him. You can't just like dump an entire vitriolic paragraph of F-bombs and C-words. You can be creative, and that's what these drill sergeants have to do. You gotta figure out new and interesting words. Now, I love saying dude and weirdo. If I say guy or dude, that means you have made it to a level of which I am now going to seek retribution for your stupidity. And you will pay for that in sweat. If I say dude or guy, you're done. Weirdo is just like, what are you doing, weirdo? Just like, well, that's my general term. Can't say retard, even if they're acting retarded or quintarded. What are the words, phrases, names that drill sergeants are not supposed to be calling? They hit it really hard, just like half a dozen years ago, was calling the trainees privates. Hey, drill sergeant, you can't call the privates privates. Why, sir? That's their rank. Well, drill sergeant, some of them are specialists. So if you're calling them private, then it must be their rank. But if they're a specialist, you can't call them private. Who cares? Who fucking cares? So then they started giving drill sergeants like secondary words, right? Hey, use this word instead of like use trainees. I use trainees all the time. But they wanted us to call them warriors for a while. Oh my God, I hated warriors. Hey, warrior. We had to use warrior, but we made it sound like, hey, warrior, interchangeable with hey. But really just the way that you said warrior and its placement in like the yelling scene that you were at and like that specific moment of time, it could mean a multitude of insults. But anyway, even though these new rules of what we can call them and what we can't, whether we're warrior or soldier or troop or trainee or private or whatever, even if you limit the space that a drill sergeant can work in, we will expand it in our own minds. And my favorite insult has got to be, oh, chef's kiss, so good. Now, like I said earlier, there's a lot of episodes of this basic training drill sergeant, drill instructor world. There's Marine Corps drill instructors in there too. I just touched on the Army one because, you know, it's my purview. But if that interests you, then go ahead and check out Med TV. I've also been in a series that they did called Checkpoint Charlie, based on MPs. So that was a good time there too. Best way to support the channel is get yourself a shirt. We've only got a couple hoodies left. And also, if you're a Navy guy, Lighthouse and Pussy, and the PVC patches, those are, we've only got like 60 or 80 left, I think, of all of them out of the 300, so they sold pretty quickly last week. Cheapest way to support the channel is leave a comment. Tell me what you thought about this. Is there a funny basic training story that you think you can correlate with the little moments that I brought in from this new Med TV series? Drill! The funniest place you can't laugh. Do you like angry movie reviews? Maybe you could put a movie down in the description you want me to break down. It's called, or that's late, or that's cool, or whatever. All right. See you next time, weirdos. By the way, for everybody that's already viewing on Pepperbox, I added a special little story out of climate in my most recent basic training class. Myra Carpenter.
IRS e-file is now open. Snap your W-2 and file your taxes 100% free. Plus, get your biggest refund. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple Form 1040 returns. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, and student loan interest. File now.
You know, I hate more than anything? Terrible Chinese products. You know, those little things in the shadow, drop it shoulder height. This is Stop Box, and the best part about it, it's all mechanical. I don't need a Stop Box. I just need my kids to go to safety.
How are you going to teach them what are real? Oh, if I was my friends over, I didn't know what time.
Okay, bud. I would never lock up my gun. If I need my gun, every second counts. I keep it in my drawer.
Nothing is faster to access than the stop box. It's even faster than the drawer. Let's do it. Intruder! Intruder!
But if it's so easy, then anybody can get it.
Well, no, not really. You have to know your code and understand how it works. It's not as easy as it looks.
Okay, but I would never fix the batteries for electronics in my gun.
Oh, good. The stop box is all mechanical, so it does not use batteries or electronics. It's also specifically designed to use the window and your ship, so it won't knock you out if you accidentally press the wrong button.
Wait, I'm confused.
That's it.
How does it work?
The stop box self-design is so unique, even the patent officer was like, this is the dopest thing I've ever seen. Proud of me. Here's how it works. Each finger button can be pushed in 3 positions, so you can select between 81 combinations. Then you have to press down on the lid to disengage the lid and sleep. Then press the unlock the lid to open. When you consider all of these steps, there are hundreds of combinations that keep the stop box working.
Didn't someone just steal this?
Well, screw it down or use our security cable to secure it. The purpose of this stop box is really to conceal and prevent immediate access to others when your gun is still loose. Unlike safes that are designed to be heavy and stationary, the stop box is made to be lightweight and portable, so you can actually secure your firearms wherever you are. This is the bridge between the holster and the safe.
Wait, it's plastic?
The stop box is made out of glass reinforced polycarbonate ABS and steel reinforced. It can take more of these than anything in its class.
Whoa.
So maybe get it in stop box.
Thank you.
Range Day is my favorite day! My drill sergeant says it's tingling, but that can only mean one thing. A bunch of videos of pilots shooting poorly have gone viral all over the internet. And people are blaming drill sergeants? Disappear. Don't take away my beard! Yeah! Clean shaven and misbehaving. Range Day. Jay. Whether in basic training or when you're out there in your normal unit, it holds a large conflicting amount of emotions, doesn't it? Pride for doing well, the fear. The fear of failure. And the excitement to shoot and destroy the enemy. Or embarrassment when you fail to clear a jam in tough sports. When you throw your magazine while reloading, oh, there's 3 targets gone. Or when you unintentionally create a new shooting technique. I call this the super secret. Seen time to shoot like that before. And for us drill sergeants, there is a sense of pride of seeing our hardcores put everything together that we taught them correctly, and then passing their qualification. And on the other side, there is a real fear that some stupid private will fly me with a loaded weapon and end my career before I can get started.
The Mattress Fundraiser is coming to a school near you. For one day only, come try out name brand mattresses, adjustable bases, pillows, and more. Every purchase benefits your local students. Delivery and...
I'd like to go home from the range with the same amount of holes that I came with. And that brings us here today. Let's watch this informative video without commentary. Shall we? Good. Now let's discuss. What the fuck is that? What are we doing here? Huh? It looks like it's the Army's new rifle block gauge course. Or perhaps a familiarization because you're standing behind that wood barrier that we're using nowadays. Different levels for kneeling, standing. And what kind of shooting stance do you call that? Huh? The Army pirate? Because that's what's gonna happen when you lose an eye. With that object smashed up against your flipping glasses. How did we all of a sudden decide that buttstock placement was optional? Well, we watch a cool Delta Force movies and now we're short stacking that barrel like we're clearing a room at a 300-meter target? But, because it doesn't matter because we've got a muffler frame in our buttstock, Drill Sergeant. It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. We're leaning on a barricade, but we can't rest the rifle on it? So much for stability, mental or otherwise. What are we teaching? Shooting like the Taliban now? Spray and spray? Like some sort of spastic Taliban? Now a lot of people on the internet start calling out this soldier's drill sergeant. It's rifle. Okay, we're poorly training this troop. Yes. That's all. The sense is flowing in now from idiots who know not what I do. And they say this because if she had a good trainer, she wouldn't be shooting like this. Oh, okay. I'll fight. Let's say the drill sergeants are the problem here. Well then, tell me, when, in all of basic training, did we teach you to shoot like this? With the buttstock over the shoulder? Is that a part of being rundown? Basic rifle marksmanship? Or hover your face above the buttstock? Right? You don't want to go cheek the stock. You don't want that. You want to hover. We teach that. Don't we? Drill sergeants definitely teach that. Oh, and obviously, we teach from day one to smash your dominant eye against the optic. Because that helps you see better. Look, that's me looking at the object. You can see better, Private. You can see better. Especially after it blinds your dominant eye because your glass shards push your fucking eyeball into your skull. Oh shit, we don't. We don't teach that, do we? We don't teach any of that bullshit that I just stated that I see in this video that morons in the internet comment section are blaming on drill sergeants. Interesting. Maybe we teach you to put that stock in a little pocket of your shoulder. Oh, maybe we teach you to cheat the stock. Oh my, oh me. And then maybe, on top of that, we teach proper sight picture and alignment so your face isn't fucking the optic. She's not even doing trigger reset at all. Just flicking that finger off the trigger as fast as she can like it's got an electric shock going through it. Faster than a fart through a loose butthole. No, a drill sergeant is not responsible for this. This is what we call falling into bad habits like that. Or if you're a shitty soldier, just doing what you want to do. Now, some of you hardcores are going to say, drill sergeant, we were taught to short stack our rifles when we were very noobs in CQB training. Go play. Totally in requisition. How about you never interrupt me again? Inconnect. How's your sauce? Oh, does this look like a dance rifle marksmanship? Huh? Are we in a glass house? Is there engineer tape on the ground? Are we using the glass house? I don't see 4 fucking walls around me. And do you even think that that form is sufficient enough to do any type of route steering, let alone advanced rifle marksmanship techniques, you can take your professional opinion and shove it right up your ass. On top of that, this troop isn't even in basic training anymore. Oh my goodness, if we just stop, stand for a moment, and use our fucking eyes, we can tell this troop has some things on basic training would never have in BCT, and vice versa. She does not have things that a BCT troop most definitely would. Helmet cover, cat-eye band, a rhino mount? You ain't getting that BCT, baby. Not in my company. I got you looking like, oh, no. That's not a training anymore. Oh my God. Which teaches us the importance of going over BRL before we get to the range with your unit. Whether you're active component, whether you're guard or reserve, whether you're infantry or a 42 Alpha, your fire drill or weeks before the range, you should be finding out who your hardcores are and going over the basics again. Because the reinforcement of fundamentals is important. Now, Drill Sergeant, notice a few more interesting comments in the comments. Of course it's a female soldier. Women don't belong in the military. Oh, really? This only affects women, does it?
Give me 7 days today and a chair. I'll help you lose that beer belly. Start Monday. If you can't keep coming back, hire yourself. Do this 7 minutes a day. Keep it.
Once again, let's watch this video without commentary. Now this certainly reeks of pastry. Red tape on the buckshot with the troops information. Red tape on his little baby equipment matching his butt back. Tells me this troop's platoon color is red. Get over here, red tape. We'll taught you how to shoot, red tape. Red tape. Red tape. Giving people chills right now, a little PTSD, and he's got no helmet cover. Oh, would you look at that? He's literally got his face smashed up against his rear side aperture. Glass is getting pushed further into his eye socket as we stand here and view it. Oh, what's gotta happen? Exactly what you think. Good thing you got eye protection on. What the fuck is this shooting technique? Upside down C again? We're shooting sassy? Huh? We've got our hands on our hips. We're shooting sassy soldiers today. This kid must have enlisted in June. I've seen interesting ways of shooting. And if you were to tuck his elbow on his hip, that's one thing. But just fucking float around out there like a cotter in the toilet. I've seen the trainees do some weird shit. And that includes troops that have been in for 10 plus years that just don't know how to shoot. Oh, and before I even see it in the comment section, because I know some smartass is going to try and put it in there about there's a specific type of skin color people in your two videos. Sweetheart, what are you trying to say? Sweetheart, I have seen equally and worse, more embarrassing videos than this from the whites, the Hispanics, Asians, you name it. So let's not get all high and mighty on our women are over God, over average, over what? Shut up! Everybody fucking sucks. Doesn't matter what race you are or what you got hanging between your legs. You all fucked up the basic training. Don't think that you're special for both. Just all. Now to those troops in the videos, don't worry. A little bit of corrective action will square you away. Go on over the hardcore range, learn those fundamentals, and you'll be okay. And if you feel like I singled you out because you shot like shit, get over it. Sign to my fucking DM. I like the way that you portray things, Sergeant. Everybody gets picked on, nobody's safe. It's just your turn. Don't worry. Next weekend somebody will get a DWI on Frank, and everybody will hate them, and you'll be forgotten. So get over it. You're welcome. You think I wasn't the butt of a joke at one point? He's right. I said potato once, and now everybody knows potato. I'm a star! Go! I'm a star! I'm a star! Like I was saying, enjoy the moment. Welcome to the military, don't worry. There's always someone else next week that'll steal your spot. Now before I go one more Bitsy focus on the comment section of the videos, saying that these are all drill sergeant's faults. It's their fault. They're to blame. Has anybody noticed a difference in drill sergeants over the past 5 or 10 years? I hear the term undisciplined thrown out a lot. Why is that? Well, the troops coming out of basic training suck. That must mean their drill sergeants suck. All of a sudden, what could have been the change? It couldn't possibly be because senior enlisted officers are handcuffing drill sergeants and saying, "We don't want you smoking them on the concrete when it's hot outside. That is mean." Or, "Eddie's big girl. Hey, listen, I know your shoulders are late. When I was drill sergeant way back in the day, I used to beat the shit out of fries. Hell yeah, man. But if I see you smoke any of them in the rain, that is hazing, and I'll kick your fucking ass out of the army." Maybe everybody training command is handcuffing drill sergeants from doing the right thing. Some of us came in and combat deployment weren't an option, they were mandatory. And so we were trained to such. Why would we get rid of that? Especially in the political affairs of the entire globe right now. Well, a drill sergeant, you don't want people to quit, you need more people in the military. What's wrong with them quitting? If it's not for you, it's not for you. Haven't you forced enough sharp classes down our throat to know? No means no. And sometimes no means I quit. Let us do our job and give you a fantastic product. Get rid of people who employ the right hell. Get rid of drill sergeants that step out of bounds and are beating the living shit and breaking troops. But let's bring back a little bit of usage. Just the right amount. Just enough to let you know that there's consequences and that you have to earn things in the military. Maybe we have to be hard on them so they can see the potential that we see in them. Recall. Case in point. And you, get back here. I get to keep it? I get to keep it! Nope. We didn't. Editing is bullshit.